Yeah, it's still waiting. Because the time is showing is actually 10 o'clock. I don't know. That's weird. Why can't I log in?
It's showing me that it's live.
It's actually... Oh, it's okay. I think it's because the time lag. It's common. Yes, we're live. Yeah, we're live. Oh, it's because there's
goodness.
lag. Sorry.
What? Okay.
I think we're good, Chama.
All right.
We're good.
Okay. So Precious is here. Hey, Precious. Welcome. How has your week been? Hello. Welcome. I can see all of you coming on now.
Okay.
I don't know what's showing on my laptop.
Nate here. Precious is here. Hi, Nate. Hi, Precious. What's going on, Chama? What's up?
Yep, I'm good. Nelson, welcome. We're good. I'm good. I'm sure.
We're enjoying the epileptic changing weather here in Melbourne. It's been an epileptic weather. We all have.
I know. It's been.
Is it cold?
Oh, really?
Yeah. 1 minute is raining. Next minute is sunny. Next minute is hot. It's cold, and I'm like, pick a lane, man.
We had a crazy storm. We had a crazy storm like 2 days ago, plus
really?
a lot of hail, and then
okay.
It was boiling the following day, even the day. We are well, Precious. Thank you very much. I hope you and you're well too. Yeah, and I hope your weekend is well. At least you people are starting your Saturday if you're. Hi, Freedom. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you see the comments, Aisha?
I'm using my computer. That's why it looks like I'm looking away every time. I can see the comments on my computer, but I can't see it on my phone.
Which is the opposite for me. I see it on my phone. I can't see it on my computer.
Technology for you. Freedom. Good morning. Well, it's good evening.
Yeah.
Australia is going to bed.
Yeah, this side of Australia, Perth has still got a few more hours before.
True.
Before we go to bed.
Every time when I talk about time in Australia, because it's weird. They're still like 6 o'clock. Can you imagine?
Yep. It's still 6 o'clock in Perth, and we're already past 9. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're still here. They're not getting ready for bed.
I know. Well, I can see that a few of you on here joined us last week. So we are just continuing on from last week, basically. So those questions you had around studying, working, migrating here, and all of that. So keep them coming. If you have any questions, we're more than happy to start answering them. I love this combo. This is from Nate. I follow you both and have thought about this. Eventually got a pleasant surprise when I first saw your live alert. Yay! We're happy to. I'm getting more comfortable with this. Last week was my very first live. And it was good I did it with Aisha. Otherwise, I would have just been sitting there thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I say? As JJ said.
I was freaking out myself, like, but But because I had so many questions already, obviously, like you have questions too. So I was like, you know what? I'll just start answering those questions. Those people that I'm sure they have me in mind, that they've DM'd me on Instagram and I do not respond. I'm like, you know what? It's good to start answering them now. Thank you so much, Nate. Maybe you're a sorcerer or you're a prophet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your kind words. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Do more of this like every once in a while, we'll come here together and then answer the questions um to you guys. So yeah, I guess people will come with questions, but Choma, did you want to start with like maybe anything trending at the moment, here in
Yeah.
Australia?
And I feel
Happening
like
in,
it's a good way.
what's happening what did you say? This network doesn't want to let us shine. I don't know what's happening.
Hi, welcome. No, I was saying it's a good thing. Yeah, network is really bad this evening. Sorry, I'm just going to stand up and leave the door open and see whether it works better. Hi, Ise Gohi. I name this. Hello, good afternoon from Nigeria. It's nice. I'm going to switch over into my mobile better because obviously.
Okay. I'm just going to read the question whilst you're trying to sort out your internet, Choma.
To show that you can hear us. Sorry, the network is not the best this evening.
Can anybody hear us clearly?
Yeah, can you hear us? Please just put like a thumbs up or something, some kind of sign in the comments so we know you can hear us. Well, I don't see any comments.
Okay, maybe I'll just type
Okay,
something.
so Freedom says they can hear us well. Good.
Okay.
Okay. So let's begin with the questions. There was one from Isego. I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly. Please pardon me if I'm murdering it. Hello, good afternoon from Nigeria. Please, I have a question. I am an electrician in Nigeria and I started my apprenticeship in 2015 to 2019. I worked as self-employed from 2019 to 2020 and I am now working. Okay, I think that question is not complete.
Yeah, I think he completed it at some point.
Oh, he did? Where is it?
Okay.
I can't see the completion.
Sorry, no, he hasn't.
Okay. Hi, Niger Mom.
Hi,
Thank you for
Niger.
joining us.
Thank you for sharing
Thank
as
you
well.
for sharing and giving us a thumbs up. And then Freedom has a question. While we wait for Isego his question, maybe we'll move on to Freedom's own. Please, I want you guys to help me with school application details. So number one would be school links to apply. Two, what are the details and documents I need? And how much do I need to start the journey of schooling? Okay, I'll take this one first. Freedom. I just wanted to know if what you want to study. Because why I say this is because I don't have information about every single course, and every single school and what they charge. I am not an education agent, okay, but I can definitely give you links. Like I can put links later into this live where you can see and compare different schools and different programs and the prices, if that would help. If you were interested in studying social work, I can speak more about that because that's what I studied myself. So again, I can give you, like I can provide links to the Australian Association of Social Workers website. So when you go on there, you can see all the schools, all the social work accredited schools in Australia. Okay, all the schools that have an accredited course for social work, because that's very important. You want to make sure that whatever you're studying has accreditation, otherwise you might just get stuck. So I can put that link in there, and then you would have to check for yourself, like you would have to go through the details of each school yourself. I can't really tell you much about pricing because, like I said, it's different. I don't even know what course you want to study. Okay, so different courses attract different costs. It's not a blanket cost for every course. So I'll just put those links, and I hope that it gives you more details around what you need to know about the documents. So generally speaking, about documents, you would need all your academic documents. That would include your transcripts, any certificate you already have, your identification documents, that would be your passport. You know, if you're coming in with family, for instance, then you would also need to gather their ID documents as well. If you've got kids, you would need to bring your birth certificate. Basically, there's a document checklist on the immigration website, and I'm more than happy to share links to that so that you can go through the document checklist yourself and just make sure you have everything. Again, another thing to keep in mind would be proof of funds for your studies. Okay, so you would need to show evidence that you have a certain amount of money, depending on whether you're coming alone or whether you're coming with family. So if you're coming alone, the amount is about $62,000, around that mark, $62,000 for a single person. Now,
Wow.
I always say this, yeah, not just proof of funds, like you're not paying that money to anyone, okay? All you need to show is evidence that that money is sitting somewhere. And that evidence could be in your, bank deposits in your name, okay? Or if you want someone to sponsor you, it has to be an approved family member. And the approved family members are your spouse, if you've got one, or your parents. It could be either parents or both parents together, okay? So, yeah.
Someone was, what about siblings? Someone was asking me, like, blood sister actually,
Yeah.
can
Mm.
the blood sister?
Unfortunately, and this is just a recent change. Well, when I say recent, maybe it came into effect a year or two ago. It was definitely not in place when I studied. But
Okay.
sisters, brothers, they are no longer accepted as approved family members for sponsorship. It has to be a spouse or parents. Or it could be a loan from a financial institution if you're taking a loan, but then you just need to provide evidence that you have access to the money. You have to provide evidence of disbursement of that money. Okay, so yeah, that's it, Freedom. If there's any other thing you want to know about that, please let me know. But I want to believe I have answered that question to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so just watch out for the links that will be attached to this video after. Yeah.
I'm just taking down the notes, Chama, for the links,
Thank
just
you.
so I'll
Mm.
see you when
Yeah.
finish.
Thanks, Aisha.
No worries. We
All
have more.
right.
Um.
Yeah. So Isego here, I think you might have completed your question. So you said you've been working in a university as an electrician from 2020 to present. You have a national diploma in electrical and electronics engineering in a federal polytechnic. Please, what are my chances to migrate to Australia? I imagine, not to the UK, right? So what are your chances? You have a chance to come in to study again if maybe you want to take your qualifications higher. Because you're in the trades, I want to believe that your diploma should be equivalent to a trade certificate here, or maybe a trade diploma as well. So in your case, there might be an option for permanent migration if your occupation is on the list. And I think electrical and electronics is actually on the list. Okay, so The next step for you would be to do your assessment, an assessment of your qualifications and your experience. All right. So what you would need to do is to go to the assessing authority for your particular occupation, and where you can find that is on the skilled occupation list. Okay. So again, we're going to put links to that. So you go on the skilled occupation list, you will see that all the information on there is arranged in different columns. You would find the column that gives you information about your assessing authority. Just click on the link, it will take you to their website, and then you can check all the requirements for you to do your assessment. So that will be like the first step for you. And then another thing you might want to do is to try like a self-assessment using the points calculator. Okay, that is to know whether you'll be getting up to the cutoff for skilled migration. So the cutoff is 65 points. Okay, so you just want to do a self-assessment by yourself. You would have to calculate your scores for age, for your qualifications, work experience. You know, there's different categories on there. And then if you sum up all of your scores and you get up to 65, then you're meeting the cutoff. But obviously you should aim for more than 65. Okay, so once you've done that assessment and you also have returned a positive assessment from your skills assessing authority, then you're ready to move on to the next step, which would be for you to express interest. And then, you know, it's a bit of a process, but for you, I would say start with your assessment first. Okay, and check for the link to the assessing authority after this live session. I hope that answers your question. Nelson said, I guess the network demon is everywhere. It is everywhere. It is everywhere.
So Nelson, if applying for a trade course, can one get a visa that accommodate his family as well? I want to apply for a heavy diesel mechanic and subsequently apply for PR. So is this like applying to school? I think, okay, so if I'm on a student visa with my wife coming with me to Australia, can she apply? So your first question, I guess, does that mean you're coming here to study on a student visa? If the answer is yes, then obviously you can bring your wife with you as well when you're applying for your student visa. I mean, for me, most people that I know, including Choma, came here with their families and children even on their student visa. So I guess, I mean, that answers your question. And then your second question, Nelson, was if I'm on a student visa with my wife coming with me to Australia, can she apply for diploma in nursing after about a year? I believe so, Choma, but you need to she needs to then do her own application, like a fresh application, go to school, apply for a student visa, I believe.
Yep. As long as they're still on the primary applicant student visa, she would need to apply for her own visa when she's ready to study. Yeah. So Ispegohi, you asked, can you come through the skilled migration program? I think it's part of the question that I already answered. Yes, so I think there's potential for your occupation to come as a skilled migrant, but you just have to go through the steps that I outlined earlier.
So we have a question, Choma, from Nazifa Nawa. She has a question about social
Hi,
worker.
Nazifa. Yes, so she's asking, hey, Chioma, can MSW qualifying graduates from Australian University apply for welfare worker job? Definitely yes. You can apply for a welfare worker job. Yes, you can, because social work sits across both community, the community sector, like community development and community services, as well as allied health. So you can work in any job that, you know, falls under any of these categories. So yes, you can definitely get a job in welfare. Freedom said, I think project management will be cool. I don't know in what context. What do you think, Aisha? Like I don't know what context. I don't know if that's a question or a statement.
I have no idea. Freedom, please make it clear. Okay. So DB, hi DB, welcome to
I
the.
did.
So DB is asking, how easy is it to find a job in Australia on a student visa? Do I have to go through an agent? I think it's pretty much, you can go through an agent, you can go by yourself. It's just the
Mm,
same way the other person will try to find a job here in Australia. But I guess because you're a student, before now, I had the of 20 hours per week as a student, but that has been lifted now. So you're free to do how many, as long as many hours as you can or as you want. And that means, like most companies, I think that even opens up students more to many employers now, because employers are
mm,
looking for more hours, and
mm.
what you don't need to go through an agent. For personally, I feel like going through an agent can make things quicker for you. But if you can also apply by yourself, like you can throw your applications to as many places as you want, and then also speak to an agent to help you. But you have the liberty of applying for a job just like everybody else. You know,
Everybody else.
there, just because you're a student, there are no limitations in
Mm,
applying jobs. Like, just yeah.
yep.
Okay, so freedom
Right.
saying get the school links so I can apply. At the applications open right now. Yes, freedom, they're open right now,
Yeah.
and I've noted down the links. I'll send it off to Choma so
Thank
she can
you.
put it up.
Yep. So yeah, links are, or rather applications are open. Feb intake obviously is over. So if you're aiming for July intake, then you need to start thinking to apply now. DB is asking for age. Can I apply for PR if I am 45 years old? The answer is no, unfortunately. Except if you want to come in as a business investor, in which case you need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of cash. Okay. If you have loads of cash, then yes, you can come in after 45. But for the skilled migration program, not really. You can still come in and study. You can still come in and study certain courses. But the prospect of leading into PR from studying is quite slim at that age.
There's another option. I guess it will be the global talent visa
Yeah.
option. Um, you're already 45 years old. Like, it doesn't matter what age. If you wanted to come for the on the global talent visa, but you have to demonstrate like that you know you have to demonstrate like you're a big boy in that career. Pretty much, I think the way to put it.
Like
You've
you're highly,
impacted.
highly skilled, highly sought after.
Exactly, you're a senior person in that role. You've made a lot of impact in that particular role, and you're able to prove it. Sometimes if you have PhD, just be able to prove that you're actually like a very, very senior person. Another option for you is if you have a partner who's not that age yet, maybe they can apply and then put you under the application. But as far as you applying directly, if you're 45 years old, I guess the
Hmm,
answer,
they're
no.
very slim, if not impossible.
Yeah.
So Abigail has a question. Welcome, Abigail. Um, would you know if there's a PR pathway for social workers above 45 years old, student of MSW now? That's still related to what we were saying to DB. Above 45 years, the chances are slim. It's not impossible, but it is slim. In terms of the skilled migration options, I would be really, I'm trying to be very, very careful with my answers, but 45 years and above is really difficult
So
to get PR.
can I just say for Abigail, what if she gets an employer to sponsor her?
Yep, that can be possible. Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of different options for
different
this.
options. Yeah. If,
So
yeah,
and
no,
how
go
is
ahead.
okay? So how, like, I know that social work is something that like is very high demand. You know, like if you have a social work degree, companies like you'll be well sought after and all of those things. So do you think she can find it easy to, you know, get an employer to sponsor her? Excuse me, as is, I mean, with as someone who has a master's degree in social work.
I'm not really sure about that because yes, social work is in high demand, but also there's I think there's, I would say, sufficient supply for the most part.
Okay.
And generally speaking, employer sponsorship is one of the, it's not as easy as the other options, the other common options that people come in, gain PR through. It's not an easy option because, you know, the regulations around being able to sponsor someone, those regulations are tough, and employers are, they are not too keen on going through that hassle just to sponsor someone when they know that they can find someone else, you know, through a normal recruitment process. So it's not an easy thing, but it's not impossible. But again, if that is an option you're looking at, then you have to start considering that right now while you're still studying. Like, don't wait until you're done studying. Start looking for options. And unfortunately, I can't even point you to any direction as to where you can find links to employers that could sponsor you, you know, in social work. I just don't have that information, unfortunately.
So we have questions. We're getting really tough questions today. Oh.
We brought it on ourselves when we say ask us anything.
So I think because we have some other questions, but I think Abigail is asking further questions. So maybe
Okay.
let's just
Wrap up with Abigail. Yeah.
so that we don't get it all mixed up.
Yeah.
Still, Abigail is saying, would you know if there's a PR pathway for social worker above 45 years old? Okay, sorry,
Yeah,
we
that's
already
that. Yeah.
said.
She has
So
another one.
what visa would be available for 45 years old then? I think we already said that to DB, I guess. The business,
Global talent. Yeah.
in the investment stream, the global talent visa as well. I think for partner visa, you don't need age for partner visa
No,
as
there's
well.
no age restriction on partner visas.
So you
There's
have
no
a
age restriction.
so you have the option of a partner visa. So like if you got married to somebody who is an Australian citizen or Australian resident, you also have the global talent visa, which means you must have demonstrated like, you know, like you must be like a senior person in that role and you've demonstrated that you've really contributed a lot into, you know, that industry, the career space or whatever. Global talent is usually pretty quick, or if you have like a PhD or something, you must just be able to demonstrate. And then you also need someone here, like an organization or a person in Australia, to nominate you as well. But it's usually pretty quick once you're able to jump through that hurdle, you know, or somebody, you know, nominating you and whatnot. You also have the option, the business one, like Choma said, you need a lot of cash for that one. So I guess with the PR, once you're 45, there's no option for you know, like skilled migrants, temporary work visa, whatnot. But then with the employer stream is also an option as well. But I don't know, am I saying that information about where to find employers? I guess pretty much you just need to apply for jobs and your employer would like maybe like indicate your interest for your employer to sponsor you. Or
Hmm.
I mean, for something, I can try to see if I can find something. Chama, maybe we'll check up links.
We can
Fine.
check that.
If we
We
find,
can, yeah, we can definitely have a look, see if there's anything. And if there's anything, yeah, we'll put that up
mhm,
as a link.
yeah. So otherwise, I guess as far as we know, that's the options. You know, that you have alternative options to come here to Australia on um to get your residency. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there was a question from Damilola. Damilola, hi, welcome. How do I add my wife to my student visa as a subsequent entrant? I got married after my student visa was granted. I did not include her while applying for student visa because we were not married then. Well, I guess you just have to apply, but then maybe you want to make it clear why she was not included in your visa before. As you said, you were not married then. I think where you have to fulfill the genuine temporary entrance requirements or to write a personal statement, maybe that is where you want to put in that information, okay? Because you're definitely allowed to bring your family members on a student visa, okay? Um, but I don't know if that's all that will be required of you, okay? I would also say I can ask around and see if I can find any information to add to that. Otherwise, I might, in this case, I might say maybe speak to a migration agent if you are able to access one and just get the best advice around that. Okay. But I'm going to ask around, and if anything comes up, I'll be more than happy to share that information.
I think we missed the last question from Abigail. So she
Oh, which
said,
one?
yeah. So is there a hope for graduate temporary visa for 45 years and above? So I think, I don't know,
Yes.
Abigail, correct? But
Yeah, so that's the visa you get soon after you finish your studies. Yes, as long as you finished on a subclass 500, you are eligible to apply for the graduate temporary visa. That's the one that's granted for 2 years, I believe. I think it's been increased to 3 years for master's holders recently. I think so. So yes, you can definitely apply for that.
that is so cool. Within
Mm.
3 years, you should be able to sort
Yeah.
yourself out.
So exactly 3 years, maybe that's what you need to be able to find an employer that will sponsor you or marry somebody. I don't know, maybe you're already married, no disrespect. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we have some other questions.
Yeah. I think I'm a bit lost because I've been scrolling all over the place. Okay, I finished. Okay, I just answered Damilola's question.
So I think
Then the YouTube user.
so. I don't like. There's Someone
Mm,
said, "How easy is it to
mhm.
transfer?" I can't see his name. How
His
easy?
YouTube user.
Oh,
That's how it shows up on mine.
sir, welcome. How easy is it to this to Australian universities? I think, Chama, that would be for you.
Um, Would you mean transferring from another school outside of Australia into Australia, or do you mean transferring between universities while you're in Australia? Like, I'm not very clear on the question, sorry. If it's in relation to transferring from outside of Australia into Australia, I'm not really sure how that works. Yeah, I'm not really sure how that works because I don't know if you mean like picking up where you left off, wherever it is you're coming from. But if you mean transferring between universities while you're in Australia, it's easy. Usually when you come in on a student visa, if you want to change courses or you want to change schools, there's a requirement for you to have completed at least 6 months in your primary education provider before you move on to another university or move on to another course. I don't know if that answers your question. Yep. Oh, okay. So he has completed the question at the bottom. Transfer from an international school to Australia University, PhD to PhD. I think this would depend on the particular school you're looking at to transfer to here in Australia. So I would say I always encourage people to reach out to the schools. They are quite responsive and very happy to answer any enrollment related questions. So if you can send the school an email or just call them up whenever you are available to do that, they can give you all that information. Unfortunately, I don't know as of now, but I can try to find that information for you, but I don't know off the top of my head how transfers are done and whether it's possible.
The questions are really flowing today.
I know. So we need to scroll all the way back up again and go back to where we stopped.
So it said, go here. I can see your question, but I think so we don't, just be all over the place. Damila, because you already answered that one, Chama. So
Yeah,
you
already
said,
answered that, Lola.
yeah. So he's asking, wife need to submit a new GTE statement.
Well, where is that one?
It's just
okay. There are two requirements for subsequent entrance on a student visa that you need to meet. I think one of them is health and the other one is character. Yes. Forgive me if I sound a bit fuzzy right now. You may not need to write a GTE, but again, we can confirm that. I can confirm that for you after this live stream, okay? But again, I would strongly advise that you speak to a migration agent or a migration lawyer, with these sorts of cases where you want to include someone on your application that wasn't a family member before. I really can't give any definitive answers around that. I don't have any experience with that. Yeah.
Chama, I mean, off the top of my head, should it be an issue? Because
It
how
shouldn't
people,
be an issue. I don't think it should be an issue, but just to be on the safe side. Yeah.
because I mean, life happens, life changes. I guess what Damilola needs to be able to prove that he got married for real, and that
and it's genuine relationship.
To show that his wife has something that she's going back to in Nigeria once Damilola finishes his studies. Abi, I don't think it should be that complicated. Yeah.
Usually you would have to put that information in the GTE, and that's why he's asking whether he would need to fulfill that GTE requirement again. I think so, because thinking back to when we came in, my husband wrote his GTE statement, and I remember I wrote a GTE statement as well for my application, but it was, we had to make sure that it was consistent with what my husband wrote in his. So yes, it might be a requirement actually, but like I said, off the top of my head, I don't know if that applies to your own situation, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. But if you want to be more sure, then maybe speak to a migration agent. But I'll definitely ask around and see if I'll find any information about that. Yep, and then what else?
More questions.
Yeah. There's this Sego, he's asking again, please, I'm also considering studying in TAFE. Do you have any idea about their tuition fees? Tuition fees are dependent on the course you want to study. TAFE generally is cheaper than university. Okay, it's cheaper than normal university courses. So it depends on the TAFE that you're going to. I think the range is somewhere around, I would say from 10,000 all the way to maybe 20 or 25,000. That's the range. Okay. But like I said, it would depend on the particular course you're coming to study and the qualification you're studying towards.
Need to position myself.
There's another question from Isegohi again. I am also considering applying for jobs as an electrician from Nigeria. Please, what is your take on it? Do you advise I keep on with the job search? What do you think, Aisha?
What's the question?
They say that they are considering applying for jobs as an electrician from Nigeria. Please, what is your take on it? Do you advise I keep on with the job search?
So this person is applying directly from Nigeria to Australia.
Nigeria. Yeah, he's the same person that I have been addressing regarding studying at TAFE. He's also asked questions about PR. Yeah.
Um, I don't know how. I mean, I don't want to say, I don't want to give absolute sentences here, but I mean, your chances of applying directly from Nigeria to a role here as an electrician, honestly, feels to me like it's going to be really, it would take a miracle for you to get a job. And the reason I say that is because electrician here is completely different from electrician in Nigeria. So if you came here, you will probably still need to do excuse me, apprenticeship or something like
Mm,
that, and then work your way
definitely.
up, like a TAFE course in electrician, role or whatever, because the safety, whatever here, like the electricity stuff here is like more advanced. And you know how we do electrician things in Nigeria. I think it's way different from what
Yeah.
they. So your chances of applying directly from Nigeria, I don't think. I think you even stand a higher chance of applying for PR and showing like your
For the
diploma
job. Mm,
grades or something, and then coming in here and then going through the ropes. Like doing a TAFE course or going to an apprenticeship or something like that. I think you even stand a greater chance of getting a PR than getting a job, from Nigeria. So I would say that maybe consider looking at PR if you still fall within the age range, and if if that's something that you feel like you want to go, like it would depend on a lot of things, of course, like your finances, and because Australian visa is actually very expensive. So I mean, also consider like if you have a family and you're coming with that family, so whatever you're doing, you have to multiply by the number of people, because I know that the visa for one person for PR is like 4,100 or something, and then for subsequent, I mean, for partner or children would be 2,000 plus each. So those are things you need to consider. You need to consider your age, um your skills as well, like how many years you've been in the industry, and if you have like a proper, like a certificate to show that you're an electrician, maybe like you went to a polytechnic and you have like the certificate and all of those things, or a diploma, or something. But I mean, to answer your question about if you should continue to apply here directly from Nigeria hoping to get a job in Australia, I think you can use that energy and time into like more, something that will be more productive in the way that you can achieve results as opposed to just applying. I doubt that they're not
yeah.
going to leave Christians here in Australia and then bring you all the way from there. I doubt that that's going to happen. But that said, like I said, I don't want to give absolute sentences.
Nothing
Any
is impossible, but it's good to be realistic.
not
It's a very, very slim chance, very slim. I have a friend who came in the same time as us, who is still doing his apprenticeship in electrical engineering now, and it took a while to get that apprenticeship, and this was after he studied here. He came in, he studied here at TAFE, and then he had to find an apprentice before he could get a job in the field. And up until now, this is like 7 years later, he's still completing his apprenticeship. He's not done. And without that apprenticeship, you can't work here. Like you won't be allowed to work. So yeah, it's
it
a
makes
very slim chance.
any
Yeah.
industry that related is
Yeah.
so hard to break into, because I mean, look at my own, like my psychology. Anything that is related, just be
Yeah.
prepared. You need
Mm.
to be able in that time. And me, you know, at my age, I can't be doing how many years. If
Yeah.
like kids, and I
Mm.
can't go years of schooling because what I need to get like a license. So you really need to be prepared and know what you're getting into, as opposed
Yeah.
to just like and nothing is impossible. Your case might be the miracle. Like you might be the outlier amongst, and be the one to get the job. So you never know. That's why I said, it's not absolute. But yeah.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe if you're applying to regional areas as well, you might just meet one employer who is desperate to find people
Or that
and
name, or
hmm?
that knows. I said, or the person might just like your name, or that knows somebody knows you.
It's just, I wouldn't discourage you from trying, but like Aisha said, it's better to try when you know that there's a good chance of getting something instead of just doing things that at the end of the day you might feel like it was a waste of time. Okay, so you can channel that energy towards looking at your PR options because it seems like you might actually have a strong potential there from everything you've said to us. Okay, so you just need to go on there and go onto the website and do more research. Okay, do the assessments and then see how you go from there. Hi, Linda. Hi.
Hi,
Can I
Linda.
apply for a PR while on a dependent visa? Sure. Yes, you can. If you found an occupation on the skilled list which you already have qualifications towards or experience around, yes, you can definitely apply for PR while you're still on a dependent visa. Okay. So there's a question from Nelson
Nelson's question
asking
is
for,
he has to. So
okay.
he discovered. So he said from a friend, I'm 36 and have a BSc in mechanical engineering and masters in well engineering. Your friend is a big boy or a big girl. I have worked for about 10 years now in the oil and gas industry. I look up my eligibility, discovered that for 189, I scored 85, which is quite low considering the previous selection round in mechanical engineering. What other options are available for PR route? So as opposed to doing 189, Nelson,
Yes, regional.
491 or even 190. I don't know, like I believe these occupations should be on the nominations list. So maybe if your friend is already at 85 for 189, so without nomination, he's already on 85, your friend can consider, applying for. And the good thing is you can apply for all the nominations at
All
the
of
same
that.
time.
Long as you have money.
Exactly, like just do it separately. So if you apply for 491, that's 15 additional points, and then if you apply for 190, that's 5 additional points. So maybe look into that so that you can get additional points as opposed to just the 189. That will boost your points. Another thing you can do is if you already have an English test that is not maximum points, so maybe you have 10 points for your English test, you want to consider writing another English test. See if you can try to get 20 points. I mean, the idea is to look for how much more points you can actually get.
But
So
yes,
if you already maybe currently, if your friend has 10 points, maybe he can attempt another English test and see if he gets 20 points because that's 10 additional points. So can you imagine like 10 additional points and nomination points? That already brings him up to like what? That's like maybe 95 or
yeah.
even that's 100. Like
Mm.
if he's not already on 20 points and he gets additional 10 points and then he gets a nomination for 190 for 5 points, that's 100 points already. So and if you're already at 20 points, if he's already at 20 points and he has 5 additional points, that's 90. That's something like in the pool. I guess that will, make you
Yeah.
jump a bit. So yeah, consider those things. Tell your friends to check out for 491 and
Mm.
190.
And
And
if the friend has a spouse as well that can contribute points to them through English, like they could take the English exam and also do, I think, a skills assessment, but that one is a long thing.
you know what? I actually find that one very ridiculous, and I'll
It's
tell you what.
ridiculous to go through all of that just for 5 points.
Whoever set that rule, who honestly, I feel like whoever set that rule is it's very
There are
sadistic. I'm
it's
serious.
not that that's not the only one. Like there are lots of requirements you would see sometimes and just be like, are you people serious? Like, are you people serious? You say you want people. Do you really want people? And you have all these conditions. Are you sure you really want people?
And now we pay like 300 or something K to do assessment. That is if the assessment comes back positive, or
Positive,
they will
just
still
for
write,
5 points.
and then everything they get is 5 point. I personally find it very ridiculous. I find that part. So I never ever people as action, you know, except
I
you're
agree with
really
you, 100%.
desperate and you need that 5 points so bad. That's what I used to say. But I guess right now, because things are really competitive, you need every point, every single
Five
point
points
you.
is something, 5 points can be the difference between sitting on that pool forever and getting invited. So,
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I mean. Because before now, I would say is ridiculous, but now nothing is ridiculous anymore because that pool, any point, if you can afford it, actually, I think it's worthwhile, actually doing it if you can afford it. But if you can't afford it, then what can you do? So
yeah. Good luck to your friend Nelson. Niger Mom, thank you very much.
thank you,
Thank
mom.
you. So Freedom is just reminding us not to forget the links. No problem, I won't.
We got you. Okay, we got you.
But
Yeah.
I can just tell you, Freedom, you can check IDP. So just Google IDP, www.idp.com, I think. Is it .com or .eu? There's IDP and then there's Study Australia. So if you can hop onto any of these two sites, they have a wealth of information that would help you compare schools and compare costs, and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I'm still going to put the links, but if you want to, if you're in a hurry and can't wait for us, then go ahead and check these links.
So Vanessa, hi Vanessa, welcome. I think we already answered your question in the beginning, somewhere in the beginning. So Chama was saying that based on your sister cannot sponsor you for your student visa.
Mm.
Asking, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, they are not an approved family member. It has to be parents or your partner or a loan from a financial institution, yeah, or a business. A business can actually sponsor you. You just have to provide lots of documents to show that the business is still in operation, tax documents, all those sorts of things. Yeah, but in terms of family members, unfortunately, they've tightened that, which is ridiculous because this wasn't in place when I studied. Then anybody could sponsor you, but now it's a bit more, it's a little tighter.
We have another question about social work.
Oh,
Monique.
yeah, from Monica. Hi, Monica, welcome. Thank you for joining. Does Masters of Social Work qualifying lead to PR, and are jobs available, especially in the regional areas? Yes, yes to both. Masters of social work generally is very strong, um, has a very strong potential for PR. And then are jobs available, especially in the regional areas? Yes, I would say this because, like I was saying earlier, social work sits across different sectors. It's a very versatile, very diverse profession in terms of the fields of practice. So you can work in the community service, which would include jobs in welfare, in disability, aged care, all those sorts of jobs, but at a higher level. And then you can also work in allied health, so like in counseling type roles, um, even in government agencies and things like that. So yes, I am sure you'll be fine wherever you go.
So Abigail
Thanks,
says,
Linda.
Abigail married with two high school kids, husband about 45 years old too, hoping to hear from GT visa for him. Fingers crossed. Thank
Good
you. You've
luck.
been really helpful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Abigail, for your kind words. Luck to your husband. I'm really, really rooting for him to get the GT visa, so
Yeah.
you guys can move here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for you.
We have
Let me
another
speak
one.
like a Nigerian. You'll be in our prayers. We pray a lot.
We pray about everything.
We pray about everything.
So Joseph,
Okay. Joseph. Hi, Joseph. I think I've seen you a fair bit this week.
Joseph, what if you have a PhD before coming to Australia for a master's program? Can I apply for a PR if I find a job? Wait.
Wait, you have a PhD and then you're coming in for a master's program. Hmm. Why
I
don't you
understand.
just apply for a for PR direct if your occupation is on the list? Can you tell us what occupation
I don't
you?
understand really, because what if you before coming to Australia for a master's? So are you coming in for a master's, and can I apply for a PR if I find a job? I'm actually confused.
Yeah,
Can you?
the question is all over the place, Joseph, because what we're confused about here is the fact that number one, you already have a PhD, but then you want to come in and study a master's. That's already a very, crooked pathway from the perspective of immigration and from the perspective of a case officer looking at your application. And then you're saying if you can apply after you find a job in what particularly? So if you can maybe clarify your background a bit more, like what you have a PhD around what's the background of your PhD? Let's begin from there because maybe you can actually apply directly from wherever you are. You don't need to come in to study or find a job. Thanks, Damilola. You're welcome. Yep.
Thank you, Nas. Thank you. Thanks for your kind words. Can you compare Sydney and Melbourne? Which is better for an international student? Hmm.
The question today, in fact, we are
That's a tricky
very hot
question.
questions. Very hot, serious questions.
But that's a hot so today is hot seats. I don't understand. So this compare Sydney and Melbourne. Okay, this is going to be from my perspective. I've lived in Sydney 3 years, and I've been living here. What? This is already February, Abby. A year now. So I've lived exactly a year, almost exactly a year here in Melbourne. I think in terms of cost of rent, so I'll talk about from housing. Like if you were to look at expenses of daily living and stuff, then obviously I think it's more affordable here in Melbourne, only because it's not it's not that wide though. Like the difference, the only one that's very, very massive in terms of difference will be housing. Everything
It's
else,
big. Which is big. Like if you think about paying that amount every week, man, the difference is huge.
yeah, right.
It's huge.
Every other thing, is pretty much like it's more affordable here in Melbourne, but it's not a lot of difference. So if you're looking at cost, in terms of living expenses, then Melbourne should be a more affordable option. But if you're looking at tuition, of universities and all of that, I think it varies. It doesn't matter whether it's in Melbourne or Sydney. It doesn't really
Yeah,
matter. So if you're
it
looking
doesn't
for
matter.
that are more affordable, then they're all over, like they're in different states. So that wouldn't be. But in terms of Melbourne versus Sydney, it would be cost of living, to be honest. For uni, you find uni of different categories and prices and whatever everywhere in every state. But
Mm.
when you're cost of living, then Melbourne is a more
Yeah.
affordable. Yeah.
But both cities, Sydney and Melbourne, are like the top choices for most people coming in. Like they're the first
Mhm.
two, and then they would consider Brisbane after. So I
Yeah.
don't think you would go wrong in any of those cities as an international student. But
Mhm.
like Aisha said, it would just come down to details around cost of living. If you just need to be, what your budget is and what you can carry. So
And then there are
yeah,
jobs in states as well. Like when I
both
see
states.
jobs, there's jobs. I think that's the best way I can put it. There are jobs in whichever one you decide. I think you'll be fine. Um,
Okay. So Joseph has clarified his previous comments. He means a master's in social work. My PhD is in educational psychology. I applied for a job in social work but was denied because social work is a professional job like counseling and psychology. Yes. And you said are you in Australia already? Or
yeah, I think we
yeah,
need to know. Um,
yeah, are you in Australia already, Joseph? Because you applying for a job, social work job, and being denied, and now you want to apply for a master's. So can you please clarify again? Sorry, we're giving you more work. Can you just clarify again if you are in the country already or applying from outside?
he's saying I read counseling psychology in my master's, so I have decided to go study
Okay,
social work. In this case, if you're not already in Australia, Joseph, maybe just don't mention. You don't need to mention
don't
your
mention
PhD.
that you have a PhD. Mm,
Exactly. So just apply for social work and saying that you already have a master's in psychology, but you want to now go into the social work industry. Like you just want to change career, and I
mm.
think you have a very good chance of getting it.
Yep,
Um, what's it now? An admission because
yep.
your psychology background. So
Mm,
I don't that's your question, but I wouldn't even mention your PhD in
yep,
any of because I think it does more harm than good for you.
good.
I would just be silent about your PhD when you're applying for your masters to Australia. And even if it's a job, I don't know if you can apply for jobs directly if you don't already have a social work degree and you're
No,
coming
you
in
can't.
from
You
because
can't.
social
Yeah.
registered like it's there's a body of social work, so it's not something just going
Yeah.
to. I just
Except
no.
if the job does not specifically say social work, like it's a social work job. But if they say that they're looking for a social worker and you don't have a social work degree, they won't accept you.
Mm. So he's saying Joseph is saying I read counseling psychology masters. Oh, sorry, he said something else. No, I'm back home in Nigeria. I just started applying, and yes, I'm not adding PhD to my application. Okay,
Oh,
all good.
yes.
Sounds
Mm.
good then. Sounds good. Um.
There's a question from Esther.
Okay. Hi,
Mm.
Esther. Welcome. Hi, please. I have a degree in accountancy, but wants to switch to a nursing career. Was thinking to start with a diploma at TAFE. 34 years now. Any advice? I think we talked about this one last week about
Mm.
diploma.
Yeah, but maybe she wasn't here.
Yeah. Do you want me to take that or do you want
Yes,
to?
please. Yeah.
Okay. So with the diploma, well, my friend who is a nurse who came here on a diploma, that was like years back. After she did the diploma, then she transferred to, start like a bachelor's degree, which she's now rounding off on. But from what she told me and from what I've read and seen, I don't think they take diploma anymore. So if you want to come here to do nursing, you either have to come directly to do like a bachelor's, or you already have a degree and you want to do like a fast track, like you want to get into nursing and one of those things. But like if you're coming here to study diploma in nursing, I don't think, the application is there. I think the schools are there. They offer some of those things, but it's getting your visa. I mean, I've read that your chances of getting your visa is almost impossible, when you're coming here to study. But if you come here to study like a bachelor's or like a master's in nursing, then you have a good chance. But obviously you need to be able to prove or tell them why you've decided to not like do accounting anymore and then move into not social work, nursing, so that's something you want to consider as well. But in terms of diploma, I mean, that's my understanding, that you don't stand a very good chance if you wanted to through diploma.
Yeah. I think it used to be possible before, but it seems it's no longer as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, and I remember that was in when I asked that this question, this was in 2019 or 2020, because I was looking for someone to, I wanted somebody I knew to also come in by a diploma. So it was like maybe 2019, and she was like, no way. And I think I also read about it online. I couldn't find anything that made sense, so you probably in via bachelor's. Since you did accounting, it means you must have a degree, so maybe look bachelor's or a master's or something.
And if you can also give a shot to maybe applying for PR, because accountancy is on the list, even though it is one of those highly competitive professions. Like, you would need to be scoring very high points to meet the requirements to be invited. But I mean, there's no harm giving it a shot. Who knows? You just might get in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Abigail's.
Yep. I'm reading Abigail's question. My husband, as a student visa dependent, has work rights. Can he also apply and hope for employer visa as my dependent? Thank you. Yes, Abigail. Your husband, I believe, is working full-time, like he has full-time work rights, and he can apply. So if he's able to find an employer that would sponsor him, that's fine. All you would then need to do is switch over to his visa once he gets the sponsorship, and then but it's possible. Monica says, thanks, Monica. You're welcome. Hi, Juliet. English prep class.
Joseph, we already answered this one.
Yeah, we've addressed Joseph.
The NAS is Gold Coast, Melbourne. Which one is advisable to go for? I'm thinking about availability of jobs in Gold Coast. You better make your way. Just
that's a good problem to have. Like, that's a very good problem to have. Like, you got admission in both places. Now it's the problem of choice. Good on you. Congratulations.
Now, I'll be biased now because I live here in Melbourne, so I would say
go to Gold Coast, Naz. Don't mind her. Go to Gold
Coast. Just asking for a friend.
I don't know. Go to Gold Coast. Gold Coast is a bubbly place. Melbourne is also lovely. I beg, don't mind us. Aisha, just answer her, please.
I think the weather is very good in Gold Coast.
It's beautiful. You might even forget your studies when you go to Gold Coast, because that place is an enjoyment center.
Some people come to Melbourne where the weather is epileptic, so that you don't forget your studies.
Melbourne will make sure you stay on track with your studies. Gold Coast, too many distractions.
Yeah, but I think in terms of jobs, it would be Melbourne more than so, honestly. And this is experiences of my friends who have lived Gold Coast and have moved to Brisbane. Because Gold Coast is like, I feel like you're better off in terms of job in Brisbane than in Gold Coast.
Brisbane, but people commute into Brisbane from Gold Coast. It's like an hour or so. It's not that far. So people actually live in Gold Coast and go to Brisbane to work.
Would you want to students. Like you can't. I don't know how
Just
you follow that into your
yeah.
time.
It depends on the kind, and as a student, thinking realistically about the kind of jobs that she might get, um, it's well, I would say go to Melbourne. Okay, but in
Exactly,
saying that, we are not saying that Gold Coast does not have jobs. Okay, that's not what we're saying at all, because
which is
Gold Coast
something
is a lovely
Niger
city.
really makes sense. Like if I
Okay,
should, as someone living in
Melbourne.
Queens, because Gold Coast is more of a tourist center, I think that answers the
Yeah,
question. Gold Coast is
enjoyment center. Yeah, go to
enjoyable.
Melbourne. Thank you, Niger Mom.
That answers it. To be honest, there's nothing else. Um. So Nas, make your way to Melbourne. Okay, holla at me when you get here.
And congratulations on getting admission in 2 places. Your own better. Oh. So
But
Vanessa is saying,
well,
hello, what qualifications? Sorry? What did you
just
say,
be
Aisha? I didn't hear you.
already above 1 hour. Let's just be aware
Oh,
of that.
yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yes, we're an hour, 10 minutes in already. Okay, let's see how we go. So Vanessa wanted to know what qualifications to go into Master of Social Work. So what qualifications you need? If it's Master of Social Work qualifying that you're talking about, then you need at the very least a bachelor degree in a related field. So
I think
related in the sense that, yeah,
she has
sorry?
digital communication. She has a background in digital
Oh, if
and
you don't have social work degree, but digital media and communication. So I would say right now, Vanessa, it seems like things have changed recently. I also have a bachelor in communication. But when I did my own master's program, they did not make a fuss about it, in the school that I attended. By the way, if you're interested in this school, it is ACAP, ACAP, Australian College of Applied Professions. Okay. When I applied to them, they didn't make a fuss about my communication background. But now I heard that a lot of universities, including ACAP, have gone the way of asking for a bridging diploma that you have to complete before you go into the Master of Social Work qualifying, if your previous qualification is not related to social work. So if it's not something like sociology or counseling or psychology, then you might have to do 1 year diploma first before you do the master's qualifying. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
I guess we have
Yeah.
another person. Hi Ugochi. Welcome to our live. We haven't seen Ugochi before.
No, we
Um
haven't. Hi, Gochi. Welcome.
it's about social work, actually.
Oh, okay. Hi, I got admission to study at Flinders University, Adelaide for MSW July intake. Congratulations, by the way, and Flinders is a good university. Please, what are the chances of paying off my second year fees myself after my parents helped me out with my first year? Good question. Ugochi, that would depend on whether you're coming in with um, I don't know. I don't think it would depend on this, but I just want to find out more about your personal situation. Like, are you coming in with children, with a spouse, or are you coming in alone? So if you're coming in alone, it's possible. I know lots of people who have paid their way through school here, but um, it's just something that you would need to be mindful how you manage your time around, with study demands and all of that. It's not impossible at all. Yes, you can actually do it. And I feel with um, recent lifting of restrictions around how many hours students visa holders can work, maybe that's good news. I think that's good news for students. You can work full time and earn full time income, which would go a long way. So yes, you can actually pay your second year through school. Did I just make sense now? Or did I?
You made perfect. Yeah.
I think my brain is beginning to fall asleep. Yeah.
My cousins, like we have family here who came on student visa and alone, and they paid for their
Yeah,
I mean,
we did the
oh,
same. We did the same as well. Like myself and my husband, we paid most of our tuition fees came from the work we did here. Yes, we still had some savings back in Nigeria, but for the most part, we relied on what we were able to raise here. So it's possible. No, I'm 24 and single. I am coming in alone. That makes it even better, I would say. So yes, you can, because you can then plan your schedule, like plan how you want to do things. Yeah, you can decide to just work night shifts and have your days free. It's easier to plan when you're single than if there are kids and a husband and all of that.
so
So
Niger moms.
Abigail, Melbourne or Adelaide for social workers, future jobs, cost of living, etc. Yeah, so Melbourne, generally speaking, is kind of on par with Sydney when it comes to job opportunities. But in saying that, Adelaide is also very big on health and allied health jobs. Okay, so it's one of those areas that social work, I believe, is one of those areas that you can actually find a job just about anywhere because it's very diverse in terms of the fields of practice. So you would do well in any of these two cities, but maybe, Melbourne things might move a little quicker for you in Melbourne. However, cost of living wise, I don't know how Melbourne compares to Adelaide. I feel like Adelaide might be a little lower, or is it comparable to Melbourne? Because yeah, it's still cheaper than Sydney. I know that.
Might be a little bit lower,
A
and it
little
depends.
cheap.
Yeah, I think it's
Mm,
a little bit than Melbourne.
yeah.
I know is always following after Sydney,
Mm,
and
yeah. Yeah.
but come to you enjoy Mel. I've
Yeah.
become
This year Melbourne.
I've become enough for Melbourne. Don't mind me. I'm just looking for like yeah. Chanchel,
Hi,
the other.
Chantal.
Hi, Chanchel.
Welcome. How are
They like,
you? Mm.
thank you,
Yeah.
Chanchel.
So
Yeah, thank.
Chanchal is saying, yeah, Adelaide is a little cheaper. Yes, thank you. So, Glow, thank you for joining. And you have a question. Is medical genetics and genomics in high demand in Australia? Wow, okay, this is a tough one. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
Let
Yeah.
me see. Genetics.
Yeah, let's check it very quickly.
There's this site I always check for occupations. If I don't find it there, then I just move on. This Delta migration place,
Delta migration people.
they always very detailed you know information about an occupation. Health testing. I can't see anything. No, it's not looking good. Glow.
Yeah. And
Good.
what occupation would that fall under in the skilled occupation list, though? Yeah,
I
it's a
don't even.
medical profession, but we don't like, I don't think I've ever seen it like on
Me
the
too.
skilled occupation list stated just that way, like medical genetics. And, I've never seen that. So unfortunately, we don't have information about that, Glow.
Sorry, Glow. I can't see
Yeah.
anything. Well, all I can see is just testing about COVID and all of that. Oh, I can't see.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
know it's even on the skills list. I
Yeah, on
don't
the
think.
skills list, like, I don't know. I don't know if this is like a standalone profession on its own or if it falls under another profession, if it is like a part of another profession. I don't know.
But I think something that's worth mentioning to Glow is, look, if it's highly regulated profession, especially medicine,
Yeah,
is
anything in the medical field.
it's not always the easiest of paths to follow. I know doctors who've been here, and they've I know a particular lady. She stayed home for like 3 years to do all the exams because she didn't want to have to do another job. She wanted to focus on reading and studying, and of course her partner was working because they moved from Nigeria. Look, I think she's still not yet a GP. So I don't think when they say they're looking for doctors, I don't think they had us from Nigeria.
The thing is, when they say things are in high demand, you still need to meet requirements. It's not like because something is in high demand, then they're just going to let people who have that qualification come in. You still need to meet all those certification requirements, which are quite hard. Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't know much about that. Thanks, Juliet. Yeah. So Juliet just mentioned again, Adelaide will be good for Abigail, cheaper than Melbourne, and they have a lot of allied health and public health jobs. That's good to know. Yeah, it seems like we might have come to the very end of the comments and the questions. Maybe we run away before a new one comes in.
So where husband is ICT, come to Melbourne. Just if your husband is if your husband is in IT, don't worry. You people will enjoy Australia. You know how
Melbourne, Sydney, IT is so hot.
You know what? Sometimes I feel like I'm jealous of them because people who do IT, they just come here and they start balling. And I'm like, wait, you have to be looking for where to choke your head. And I think they're lucky because IT is something all over the world. Like it's IT is IT. Of course,
IT is IT. Like the world is more digital now than it has ever been, and it's moving more in that direction. So if you have a background in IT, you do well anywhere.
IT guys are, yeah, but if your husband is IT, just make your way to Melbourne. My husband is IT as well, so it was for us. It was either Sydney or Melbourne. I don't think we're going. I don't know. I mean, find like something in a different state that's, I don't know, maybe mouth watering, but honestly, for us, in terms of both of our occupations, we'll either switch between Sydney or Melbourne. I don't see us going anywhere else from here.
Okay. Chanchal has a question. Can you please explain the process of becoming a mental health social worker? I know we need to upload our documents on the AASW website. So basically, on top of your base qualifications, what actually qualifies you to become a social worker, you need to do additional training to become a mental health social worker. All of that information is on the AASW website. I think the training is for about, I don't remember now whether it's, sorry, there's a bit of feedback. Aisha has dropped out. Yeah, as I was saying, Chanchal, I can't remember now whether the training was for 6 months or for a year, but you just need to do additional training. And when you're done with that, you would then get the mental health social worker certification. And yeah, that's all you need.
Oh,
can you hear me, Aisha? Sorry, you dropped out.
Wow.
Like, did you just decide to go to bed and leave us? You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, we're almost at 1 hour and 30 minutes, and we might actually have to start wrapping up now. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and you came prepared. You came with those questions. Just so that you know, when the recording is sorry. Oh, Nas, sorry, Nas, sorry, that one completely skipped me. Are you taking that one, Aisha?
Oh, okay, sure.
So it was just the comments, yeah.
because of PR pathway, Gold Coast is a regional area. Yeah, I guess it's up to you, Nas, to be honest. Yeah, definitely Gold Coast for now, but Melbourne, so you just need to weigh your
Mm.
options there. I think we have one last question, and maybe after this one we'll just wrap it up.
Yeah.
User, how about PR pathways for doctors? I think we just talked about that one. It's not viable. Is viable the right word to use? I
Mm.
don't think it.
It's
Yeah,
not impossible. It's but it's difficult. It's a little difficult because they have to meet all these certification requirements. You come into the country and then you have to take all these exams. I don't even know what they are called before you can qualify to actually work as a doctor. Okay, and I know a few people who are still struggling with getting those certifications, but obviously it's you can apply and then see how you go. Give it a shot. Who knows? You might attempt it once and get it.
yeah. The
Yeah.
doctors all the doctors I know who moved here, they're not practicing.
Hmm.
That I know that moved from Nigeria, they end up doing something different because it's just
Yeah.
frustrates you out of the thing. Yeah.
But you can, give it a shot. I would always say, what's the worst that
But
can happen? At least you're
more
here. I don't know.
more
Um,
questions. We have
okay,
more
more questions
questions.
are coming in. Okay. Glow is asking about pharmaceutical science, data science, which is the best in the job markets in Australia. Um,
I would go for data science.
because it's
Maybe
IT.
because yes, I know someone who's in the pharmaceutical industry and I know someone who's in the IT industry. I think I would say data science, Glow, but you still need to do your own research. But I think, from what I know, it would be data science.
Mm.
Mm.
So Ugochi has a question. What about adult care social work? Are there other additional qualifications I will need after I finish my MSW? No, no, Ugochi. The only people who need extra qualifications will be people who want to specifically work in mental health, who want to become mental health social workers. Those are the only ones who need extra um, extra training and extra certifications. So, adult care social work, would that be aged care? That's what we call aged care, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a master's for that, do you?
You don't even need a master's for that, except if you're looking for, if you're looking for a job in that sector that is equal to your level of skill as a social worker or your qualifications as a social worker, in which case you'll be looking at maybe a management position or a team leader role. With a social work qualification, you're not expected to, like, I don't imagine that you would want to be doing like direct personal care and that sort of thing. You can definitely apply for more senior level positions with a social work qualification. But in terms, if you just want to be in that sector and you don't care whether it's personal care that you're going to be doing, you don't even need a social work degree for that. You just need a certificate 3
A
in
course, yeah.
each. Yeah.
So
So
Nate
Nate,
is giving us some accolades. Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to getting my visa and coming to Sydney to study. Oh, at least I get one person coming to Sydney. Not everybody's going to Melbourne. Good luck. Good luck to you.
Melbourne. You have to
Good.
try. I'm enjoying Melbourne. I think when I first came here, I didn't really like it because we were on lockdown and I didn't
Mm,
get to go out for like almost 6 months, just working from home and everything. Like, even though we're still home now, but we're able to now freely go out, to do whatever.
mm.
So it's
Melbourne
not
was
bad.
actually my first choice coming in here. It was my husband that was like, no, Sydney, 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 Sydney. So we ended up in Sydney. But now that we are here, my choice has actually moved to Brisbane, not even Melbourne or Sydney. Like I want to go to Queensland.
Are you Brisbane
Yeah, I
for
want to go to
some reason?
Queensland.
Brisbane
I
for
just
some
like
reason
I
has
like the weather. I'm a hot weather person. I don't like winter. I don't like anything that's just cold.
never been
Yeah,
on my list. Never been on my list. Like I
I
went
love
to, it would be
it.
my fourth option, but yeah, I've never really thought outside of Sydney or Melbourne. For some, I
No,
just never
I.
those two.
In fact, I feel like I would like to live in every city in Australia at some point. If you leave me, I'll just live a normal lifestyle and be moving from place to place.
Because I lived in Lagos. I don't think I want something too slow, too
Oh,
quiet.
I lived in Abuja, so I love the quiet. This Sydney nonsense that is going on here, the rat race and everything, it's not for me. Okay. What are the possibilities of what are the possibility of PR pathway? Currently studying PhD accounting at University of Tasmania. Well, accounting is strong on the list. It's just that it's really competitive, and so I would advise that you have a good look at the history of invitation rounds in accounting, because that will give you a fair idea how many points you need to get to be invited. I've heard about people who are scoring up to 90, 9,500 points before they get invited in accounting. So yes, but in terms of whether it's on the list, it is sitting pretty on the list. Like it's one of those occupations that I don't think it's ever been dropped. It's never been
But I
dropped. It's
think
there, but people struggle. People struggle to get invited, but it's always there.
I think that Ella might stand a good chance if he can get like a 20 points in his English test. So like already he's doing PhD, so that's like a 20 points for education
Yeah, 20
and
points.
20 points for his English. That's already 40. So depending on your age, well, I mean if
Age.
you're younger, means you have a better chance. But like Chama has said, just have a look on the history, like the trends of I think you can get that on ANSCO search.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, hard for you to access it. Did you know, Chama?
That you
I'm
need to do
telling
what?
you.
You need
You
to
know
do what?
that
I didn't hear
ANSCO
that. Yeah, Ansco
search,
search, yeah. I use it a lot.
they now charge you. You can't use it anymore. You have to pay
Serious.
dollars.
I didn't know that. Hey, God, these people are, in fact, I don't even know what to say again. They are not
I
serious. They say they need people and
know,
then they
but
keep putting all these hurdles. Hmm,
I knew
it's
that
so
was
bad.
going to
But
happen at
some
some
of
point,
these,
and I don't blame because they've offered too much value. Like I was looking at where would these people start charging money? Because I don't understand. They put out so much good, like very valuable information.
but
And
that's
to be
unfair.
honest, I would pay for it. No, but come on now. You've been chopping free information for like
No, but these are like immigration trends, and it's it's only I feel like it's only natural that they would make some of these things transparent, like let people see it. But I don't know why they would
money
charge for
now.
it. Anyways, some
Some
migration agents have this on their website, so you just have to start looking for different migration agents that might carry the same information. Maybe they'll start charging as well. Who knows?
you know how ESCO search just gives you everything in a
Everything,
snap.
everything.
I would pay for it honestly because I really do think they give value for
Well, yeah,
money.
but yeah, for people who really need it, I can see how they will pay for it. I'm just happy that it's not me who has to pay for it. It's crazy.
It's crazy, I know. So good luck, Damilola, with that
Yeah.
one. And
So
just
yeah.
oh, he's a
So there's a
certified
comment from Juliet addressing GLOW. Medical genetics and genomics might come under clinical specialty. Are you a doctor?
just asking, yeah, if
Yeah,
he's a
I
doctor.
really wouldn't know about that.
So Ugochi is saying here. So Damilola is also certified accountant, so that's good. The better for you.
Yeah,
But I'm saying here, you said we don't. They don't need.
yeah, you really
You don't.
don't need any, like, you don't need any qualification at bachelor level. It's just a certificate course that you need to be able to work in aged care if you just want like normal support worker kind of jobs. except if you're looking for something higher up, then yeah.
Okay.
Damilola, I think, is planning to get a CPA. I imagine CPA is another accounting certification. Well, the more certifications you can get, I guess, the better chance it stands you. But at the end of the day, it will come down to how many points you're getting in your assessment. So, yeah.
So Niger mom is saying Queensland dropped accounting.
It
See,
will.
I don't know problem with
Queensland is a bit temperamental. I don't even understand those people. Those are the ones that will open their list and shut it down in 24 hours. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand those people. They are very temperamental. So
That's why has never like when we were doing our PR and everything, they had nothing. Like they didn't open. They will tell you that they will open indefinitely. Like
yes,
nothing. No information.
there was a time that they opened, and 24 hours later they shut it. They said they had reached their cap, and then people were just crying. Like people who had been waiting for years to apply and still missed out. 24 hours, what's that? What kind of jazz is that? That one is juju. Yeah.
I have more than enough people. Uche is rolling here. I swear, like it's really funny. But yeah, they have enough people. I don't think they need more people. So it was never ever on my list to even go. Maybe I'll visit though.
I
But
still like them, Sha. I still like them, even though they are temperamental. I still like them.
good luck. Good luck with Queensland. Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
good. I guess.
Yeah. I guess that's it. Thank you so much for answering my questions, Chioma and Aisha. Thanks, Glo. We enjoyed having you on, even though we didn't have
So much.
answers for your questions, for all of your questions. But yeah.
So subsequently, Chama, do you have a time for your subsequent live? Because my live is 11 Nigerian time. So I do mine every Chama, what's the time for yours?
For me right now, I don't have another date set yet because I mean, me even coming on today was by a huge miracle. The week has been very busy and work is going to be busy for the next 1 week at least. So after that, I will announce on my channel, like I'll put it in the community tab when I'll be on again. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, all of you who joined. Okay, Niger Mom is saying she has to go to work. Bye, Niger Mom. Secure the bag. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. So someone else has joined. Which state in Australia are you guys residing? How do you pronounce your name? Emma Kens? I am in Sydney. I reside in Melbourne. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, guys, join me live 11 a.m. next Saturday. And then Chama will announce her time.
Yeah, I will announce mine when.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep cutting. Hopefully, one of these days we'll come together again to give you guys collabo questions and answers. Yeah.
Yes, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. Actually, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Me too.
And come back in a few days' time on my channel to check for all the links that we said we're going to put in the description. So yeah, I think all your questions were really good questions. And yeah, I'll see you again when I see you, and we will see you again when we see you together. We don't know when. Yeah.
It was nice chatting to you and hanging out with you to answer all the questions. I guess we'll see you guys on our individual channels next time. Alrighty.
Yep.
Enjoy.
All right. Bye, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.